Hi, I just wanted to take a minute and just clarify some things. I want to make sure that we understand that this is a decentralized thing. The civilization preservation teams of Oath Keepers are on a local level. You're not answering to anybody anywhere but within your group, and of course, the best thing to do is to make these alliances, these make yourself available to like the local sheriff or somebody like that if it's possible, if it's feasible in your area. So if that's not possible, then you kind of have to remain autonomous on your own and work things out locally. There are a lot of reasons for that. If things break down nationally, uh, communications are going to be difficult anyway, and so you just basically have to do what's right in your area. Now, the concept of the Special Forces A team is on the Oath Keeper site. The special application of that to these civilization preservation teams, I call them civil preservation teams for short. That's what you want to model yourself after, or something along those lines. Everybody might have a little different situation, but I think that one by Oath Keepers is excellent. I won't cover it here because you can go there, oathkeepers.org, and look at that. Or, you vets who have maybe talked and decided how you want to organize locally is the very best thing to do for your area. So it just depends, and that's why this has to be somewhat flexible. I'm certainly not going to be giving any orders. I'm not commanding anybody. Um, my concern is that people are aware of what they can do and what they should do. That's really where we are. So the idea is self-defense primarily. We're tired of our daughters, our wives, our children being abused and victimized by tyrants, and it's time to stop. And if the powers that be decide that they are going to come and cause you difficulty as a veteran or a constitutionalist or a Christian or whatever, that you'll have friends and means to protect yourself. And don't kid yourself. If it ever comes to something like that, it's going to get big really fast. We really don't want it to go there. We want it to remain as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. But if the time comes, we have to be able to strike like a serpent. Not something we want to do, but we might be forced into it. Because we cannot allow this degradation of our humanity, of our families, of our wives and children to go on any longer. Today, why am I doing this? What was the big turning point today? Well, one of the big things is that, of course, you can't depend on Congress to stand up for you at all. They finally bowed down to Obama, on Obamacare, on the debt ceiling, on everything. They make this big dog and pony show about how they're going to stand up for what's right. And then, they could have been threatened. I wouldn't doubt it in the least. I wouldn't put it past the presidency, the administration, or the powers that be, the bankers, or anybody to come up there and tell those guys, we'll just slit your throats, we'll shoot you in the head, we'll kill your families, whatever. Because like I said, keeping power is everything to them. Okay? Paul Craig Roberts made a good point. He said, they can't not lift the debt ceiling. They can't not enlist Obamacare because their paychecks, their foreign accounts depend upon it. The hegemony of the United States depends on it, at least in the short run, as long as they can keep running the scam. The point is that things are going to deteriorate rather quickly. I think you can see that. And you can't trust anybody in government. What did I say? You can't. Boner is about the most spineless person I'll just say it the way it is. He's a spineless bastard, okay? And you can see it in his face. Well, I don't like to resort to name calling, but that whole spectacle of that they're going to stand up and do what's right and then cave like they did, it's you can see it coming miles away. All right, there is no balance of powers in the U.S. government anymore. We are in any fascist dictatorship, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't see that now with what's happened, well, you guys are blind. Of course, I know I'm speaking to the choir. I'm actually speaking beyond that to other people who might laugh at this. Anyway, I didn't want this to be a long one. I just wanted to make sure I said basically that you need to function in a local area. Try to submit yourselves like a militia, like a well-regulated militia by a local jurisdiction, preferably a state, of course, if you live in a state like that. If not, then you might have to resort to some other means, but you have to be ready to physically, I think, defend yourselves, because this could get ugly real quick, especially when the economy really does fall apart, when Obamacare does, and when people realize that they've been scammed, and of course when the government decides that they don't want the possibility of opposition out there from again, well-trained veterans, constitutionalists, Christians, gun owners, etc. Sad days. Hopefully we'll have a place to gather where we can, God will provide a place where those who don't want to lift up sword against their neighbor for any reason will be able to go. Well, I would prefer that. But historically that hasn't been the case. So until that time, and if it happens, I'll let you know. If I find out about it first, I'll be the first one there. Wise as serpents, harmless as doves, but be prepared to strike as a serpent to protect yourselves, especially your wives and your children and their honor. Out here.